Alright guys, we have got a ton of stuff done on the Chevelle. We've been going like crazy trying to get everything kind of mocked up. Everything is still in mock-up form. This isn't all together and hey, we're going to fire this car up pretty soon. It's still all in mock-up form because we got a lot of cutting, trimming, coping, cut everything that we have to do to the car still. We're still going to modify the front bumper. We still got some other modifications to the body and everything too. We got our QA1 stage 3 suspension all sitting in here. We still have no springs in the car, so we can adjust our ride height and we can play around with some of that without fighting through our springs because we don't have all the weight that's going to be in the car. And you can't simulate the ride height and everything unless you have all the weight in there. So we're doing it without the springs, and we know where everything's going to sit at with that ride height. So everything is just mocked up right now. We got the body on, we got the body mounted. We had some issues with the rear shock cross member in the back for when we came down with the body. As it was ready to hit onto the body mounts, it pushed the whole body back about 1/4 of an inch. So we had to cut the rear cross member off and start over with that and move that into a different location. Bobby's just over right now getting the rest of the shocks and everything onto the back right now. We're going to cycle the rear suspension to make sure that we got the shock cross members in the right spot now, so we don't have to modify the body anymore. We also are mocking up our exhaust. We have to figure out where the exhaust is going to be, where our mufflers are going to be, how it's going to go over the rear differential and everything. We also are going to start doing our fuel lines, brake lines, fuel tank. We have a Tanks Inc. Tank that we're going to throw in here with, and then we're going to modify that a little bit also. So we got a ton of stuff coming up with this car. And yeah, check out this back suspension and everything and how tight this is. And with our wheel tubs in here, getting all the brakes and everything too. Check this stuff out. Hey guys, we got the whole Stage 3 QA1 kit in here, and we've done some modifications to it obviously, but that is only because we lowered the ride height drastically to get those big tall tires and to get such a low ride height on it. We changed all the factory setup on it with the instant centers on these triangulated forelinks and our mushy, twisty, flexy rubber bushings with the channel iron just tractor parts that are on here from the factory are not real good for what we're going to try to do to it. We're going to try to autocross it and road race it and put a punishing to this thing. In order to do that, we had to do quite a few modifications back here to get our instant center height right, and we also lowered our link bars down here. We made our adjustable shock mount so we can move our ride height up and down. It would bolt right into your factory ride height suspension in your Chevelle and beef it all up with your polyurethane bushings, with your sway bar, everything else. The only thing we modified is our own doing of the ride height, and that's where everything, the suspension geometry changed. So this will bolt into your factory car at your ride height, slightly lower, but we went drastically lower than that. So we got a lot more stuff we got to do here. We got some more welding here. We got to get our shock cross member up in here and finish welding all that. All these brackets on the rear differential are just tacked in place also. We're going to get that stuff all welded up. Then we're also going to mock up our exhaust. So our exhaust will end up coming through here, snake around our gas tank that's going to be here. We're going to twist it back here, get it coming out. So we got a ton of stuff coming up that we still need to mock up before we can blow this whole thing completely apart and then get everything painted before we put it back together again. So don't forget to stay tuned for this part coming up next. You're going to like it. Alright, another thing that we did is the wheel tubs on this. We used these original wheel tubs, and we obviously you guys already know that we narrowed this frame rail up. Also, we moved the frame rails in, we made all new frame rails for it. We gave ourselves a couple more inches of wheel clearance. We also took our original tub and cut that up because it was so mint without having any rust or anything. It was just so beautiful. We ended up just cutting it in half here splitting it out, and then we're just gonna finish welding this plug weld it all back together again. We're gonna finish that up, and then we'll finish our details up in the back here to tie all this in together. And then we got a nice clearance for our 335 tires now. And now we still got to roll the wheel well here yet too to give us a little bit more. And once we get that done, we should be able to clear this 335 tire and have our full articulation and everything too, and hopefully not have any rubbing. Let's throw a tire on here and see if we can make this thing fit. Oh, sweet Jesus.
So how much does that tire weigh, Eric?
1,000,000 pounds.
So this is a 20 by 12 with a 335, 30,
30,
20.
20. So you can see we still got a little bit of rolling the fender lips and everything, and it'll be that close on the outer fender wells.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
But I think we can make it go. We do have a spacer in here as well, so we do have room to move it in, but we want to keep it out as far as possible also. So we're going to massage this whole outer lip a little bit and try to grind and trim some off of that so we can get our wide stance as well.
Right now, Bobby is running up the jack so you can see how it fits up in there.
All the way up.
See, all the way up. We hit right here.
That's easy enough to fix.
But otherwise, plenty of space behind it. It's literally, yeah, just the lip.
And this is at full bump too.
Yeah.
Oh, and what is this that you ask? Well, this is going to be something else that we got to add on here. A trailer hitch. Every badass street car needs a trailer hitch, right? We're going to cut and we're going to modify this, and we're going to do this for our drag weekend. We're going to take this thing out in September. We're going to get this thing ready to go for that. We're going to mount the trailer hitch back here, and we're going to custom make this pan and everything for this hitch to hide. And yeah, tuck that right in there, and then we can at least pull a small trailer with it behind it too. So every badass street car needs a trailer hitch, I think. Hey guys, don't forget to follow us next week. We're gonna put this thing down on the ground with the car at full ride height, with a full roller and everything, and then we'll cycle up our suspension, give it compressed, extended. We'll show you a little bit more of it on the ground at ride height, and probably mock up the fenders and everything on it too, so you guys can kind of see what the whole thing looks like as a whole. And that's coming up next. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. Click on the little bell icon. That will remind you when we get a new video out and post it out there for you. It'll give you a little notification. So don't forget to click that too. Coming up next, got some really cool stuff for you guys to look at.
Cool.